What if the reason you keep sabotaging your relationships was all set in place by the time you were 3 years old? Today we're going to be uncovering the 7 hidden subconscious beliefs behind the avoidant attachment style. These very beliefs are creating your destiny and sabotaging your love life. And they were all embedded into your subconscious mind before you even realized it. The question is, are you really ready to allow love in? Today we'll be examining the avoidant attachment style, also called dismissive avoidant. The hallmark of this attachment style is when intimacy increases in a romantic relationship, avoidants pull away. Dating them can feel very lonely, especially if your love language is physical touch and quality time, which requires closeness and intimacy. But for avoidants, their love languages tend to be words of affirmation and acts of service, both of which keep their partner at arm's length. Avoidant adults often want love, but push it away, sometimes without even realizing it. On the surface, it looks like independence, confidence, or even self-sufficiency, but underneath is a set of subconscious programs that push love away. Why? Because intimacy and closeness do not feel safe to their subconscious mind. These 7 hidden beliefs that I'm about to share with you are sabotaging your love life. These beliefs live in the basement of your mind, in your subconscious mind. And until you bring them into the light and change them, as Carl Jung said, they will control your life and you will call it fate. Before we get into these beliefs, let me quickly explain to you how these beliefs are formed, because it's super important to understand this, because it sets the foundation for their life. So between being in the womb and the age of 7, your subconscious mind is wide open. And during those early years, specifically from the age of 0 to 3, your developing mind, or the developing mind of this child, is absorbing everything. How their parents love each other, how they fight, withdraw, and connect. And it's during these first 3 years when one's attachment style is getting firmly embedded into the child's mind. For these little ones, they had caregivers that were emotionally unavailable or dismissive themselves. Now, these caregivers are rarely attuned to their child's needs. These children are often left in their cribs to cry it out until they become quiet. And you can sometimes hear their parents say, you know, you were a good baby. You didn't fuss a lot when you were little. These parents can sometimes figure out the child's needs, but other times they miss the mark completely. The child might be hungry only to receive a diaper change. The child might want someone to hug them and soothe them and comfort them, only to be left alone in their crib to cry it out. When left alone over and over again, the child's developing brain makes one critical decision: no one is coming for me. And here's what happens. Their emotional centers in their brain shut down because they're learning that their cries are not being received. So they conserve their energy, and their brain shuts down their attachment center because it wants to survive. And this becomes survival-based programming that gets installed in their mind. Aristotle said, "Give me the child until he is 7 and I'll show you the man." Your subconscious mind will have most of the beliefs that will control your experience as an adult installed by the age of 7. And these beliefs will direct your life, your behaviors, and your decisions. Now, science confirms that neural pathways set early on become the operating system for adult relationships. Whatever you survived in childhood, your subconscious mind will keep recreating that same painful experience, even when your conscious mind craves connection. And for the person with an avoidant attachment style, their subconscious mind knows how to survive people not being there for them. It knows how to survive being alone. It knows how to survive disassociation from emotions. People with an avoidant attachment style often sabotage love without even realizing it. Just as intimacy is deepening, they instinctively pull away, answering texts late, or throwing themselves into work, or creating emotional distance in some other way. They may devalue their partner, nitpicking at flaws, or imagining there being a better partner out there elsewhere for them, because focusing on shortcomings in their partner feels safer than risking closeness, although they aren't consciously aware of this. More often than not, you're gonna find avoidant people dating partners that live in another state or another country because distance for them feels safe. Their self-sabotaging behaviors create a push-pull dynamic in their relationships because at one point they're craving love on the surface, but keep people at arm's length, which ultimately erodes trust and intimacy that they secretly long for. and this behavior leaves their partners feeling anxious and insecure, unless they happen to date another avoidant partner who will actually enjoy the fact that they give them plenty of space. Before I share these 7 subconscious beliefs that sabotage love for the avoidant, it's important to understand what a healthy, secure relationship looks like, because then you'll better understand how the avoidant is sabotaging love. A healthy, secure romantic relationship is built on a foundation of trust, open communication, and mutual respect. Both partners feel safe expressing their thoughts and their emotions without fear of judgment. And conflict is approached with empathy and a willingness to resolve the issue constructively. And there's a nice balance of independence and togetherness where each person maintains their own individuality while also nurturing the bond they share. Consistency, honesty, and support help create a sense of stability and security, while affection and appreciation keep the connection strong and fulfilling. So let's bring these subconscious beliefs out of the basement and into the light. Here are the 7 subconscious beliefs that are common to the avoidant attachment style. So let me know in the comments below which beliefs resonate with you. The first one is I have to give up a part of myself to be in a relationship. For avoidance, love can feel like a threat to independence. They can sometimes feel that if I let someone in close, I'm going to lose myself. Think of the person who avoids commitment because they equate it with chains, or the partner who says, I need space, not because they don't care about their partner, but because their nervous system translates closeness with suffocation. Number 2 is intimacy is unsafe and overwhelming. As children, many avoidants learned that their caregivers were not coming for them. So as adults, allowing someone in emotionally feels almost life-threatening and brings them back to that moment in childhood where they were abandoned. Imagine hugging someone and then it reaches a point where they throw their partner's arms off of them. Suddenly, like a cat that's had enough petting, they pull away abruptly, pick a fight, or shut down. Their subconscious mind it's sounding this alarm internally that they're not aware of, that this person is getting too close and it's not safe. So they push their partner away. And the reason it's not safe for them is because they've learned early on in childhood that no one was coming for them. And if they did, they wouldn't be able to figure out their needs. In other words, it's not safe to depend on someone because they will only let you down. Leading to our next belief, number 3, it's only a matter of time before I'm let down. This belief makes avoidance hyper alert for disappointment. Even in good relationships, they're scanning for their partner's faults. They can also suffer from the grass is greener syndrome, where they're always keeping an eye out for a better partner or one that they perceive as better because intimacy doesn't feel safe. Maybe their partner plans a date to a restaurant, but for the avoidant, it's the wrong restaurant. And instantly the avoidant thinks, see, I knew I couldn't depend on them. This expectation of betrayal becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, causing the avoidant to have to do all the planning so they can make sure it gets done right, which can end up leading to a lot of resentment. And for avoidant women, this can cause them to lean more into their masculine energy. So moving on to our 4th subconscious belief, it is not safe to be vulnerable. For avoidance, opening up feels like handing someone a weapon they will use against you later on. So avoidants hide their insecurities. Think of the person who never admits that they're scared or hurt or lonely. They say, I'm fine, while their world is falling apart. For them, vulnerability is a liability, not an opportunity to connect. They have never had the experience of being able to lean on someone else for support, so they bottle it all up inside and lean more into themselves. Number 5 is expressing emotions will only make things worse. Avoidance learned early on that showing feelings like crying in distress was met with deaf ears. Think of a partner who gets quiet during arguments, who needs space, leaving the other person frustrated and waiting all alone. Inside, their belief is, if I say how I feel, it'll be misinterpreted and backfire. What if their partner takes it the wrong way and gets emotional? That would be too overwhelming to deal with. So silence feels safer. This leads into our next subconscious belief, number 6, distance protects me from being hurt. Vulnerability and closeness means pain, so creating distance is all about survival. Picture a couple walking together, but one is always walking 10 steps ahead of their partner. Or someone who spends more time at work, in hobbies, or alone, not because they don't care about their partner, but because closeness feels overwhelming to their nervous system. Avoidants never learn to regulate their nervous system with another human. They only know how to do it alone because they were left alone. For them, space equals safety. So the seventh subconscious belief is my partner can't meet my needs. Even when their partner tries, avoidance may zero in on their partner's flaws rather than strengths, because focusing on shortcomings keeps intimacy at a safe distance. It's the person who always has one foot out the door, imagining that there's someone better out there. This belief feeds the grass is greener syndrome and keeps real closeness just out of reach. None of these subconscious beliefs are flaws. All of these were created from survival programming when they were little. If you would like to have a different experience in love, one where you can open up to love and have it feel safe, then please reach out for a complimentary 15-minute Zoom call with me. The link is in the description below, and we can see if working together would be a good fit. When you change your beliefs, you don't just change your relationships, you change your life. And if you'd like to learn more about the anxious attachment and how they sabotage love, you can check out this video here. The anxious attachment is usually the one that dates the avoidant. Your likes, shares, and comments help this channel more than you know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and thank you for being here, and thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in next week's video.